Zlatan was born on October 3, 1981, in the rough neighborhood of Rosengård in Malmö, Sweden. Zlatan wasn't just famous for his incredible goals and abilities. His personality was, you could say, he was a criminal. How did the young boy involved in the theft become the most important? In a neighborhood where violence and poverty were common, Zlatan quickly found himself involved in things that weren't the best choices. From a young age, Zlatan was getting into trouble. He would steal bikes, get into street fights. But believe it or not, his journey didn't start in a football academy or a glittering stadium, but on the streets of Malmö, Sweden. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we bring you a special story. This is the story of a man who rose from a troubled childhood to become one of the world's greatest footballers. Nobody talks about Zlatan Ibrahimovic, but believe it or not, his journey didn't start in a football academy or a glittering stadium, but on the streets of Malmö, Sweden. You could say he was a criminal. How did the young boy involved in the theft become the most important? Zlatan was born on October 3, 1981, in the rough neighborhood of Rosengård in Malmö, Sweden. Growing up in this area wasn't easy. Zlatan's father, a Bosnian immigrant named Shafik, wasn't around much, and his mother, a Croatian immigrant named Jurka, had to work hard to support Zlatan and his siblings. In a neighborhood where violence and poverty were common, Zlatan quickly found himself involved in things that weren't the best choices. From a young age, Zlatan was getting into trouble. He would steal bikes, get into street fights, and, like many young kids trying to fit in, he ended up walking a dangerous path. But what set Zlatan apart was his love for football. Even with all the chaos around him, Zlatan found a safe haven in the game. It wasn't just something he liked to do, it was his escape. He started playing football at a very young age. At just 6 years old, he joined a local club, but his journey wasn't smooth. His natural talent was undeniable, but he wasn't always the easiest kid to coach. He was rebellious. He didn't always play by the rules, but it was clear he had something special. As he grew older, Zlatan's footballing skills continued to shine, and despite the problems he faced off the pitch, he was determined to make football his life. At the age of 15, Zlatan moved to Malmö FF, and that's where things began. However, there was still a long way to go. At Malmö, Zlatan's talent could not be ignored, but there was still a lot of skepticism about his future. Coaches were unsure about his attitude and temperament, and many wondered whether he would ever be mature enough to turn professional. But Zlatan didn't let that stop him. His great talent, his self-confidence, and his hunger to prove people wrong kept him moving forward. After all, Zlatan made his professional debut with Malmö in 1999, and that was just the beginning of his journey. His performances quickly caught the attention of scouts from larger clubs, and soon one of the biggest football clubs in the world, Ajax Amsterdam, got in touch. Zlatan's time at Ajax was a revelation. The 19-year-old had a potent mix of strength, skill, and fearlessness. His performances earned him a move to Juventus in 2004, where he took his game to the next level. At Juventus, Zlatan became a household name in Italy. He was a big, fast striker who could outplay defenders with ease. His rise in Italy didn't end there. In 2006, Zlatan moved to Inter Milan, where he continued his meteoric rise to stardom. At Inter, Zlatan dominated Italian football, won several Serie A titles, and became one of the greatest. But Europe's most feared striker didn't just make headlines. He was courageous, confident, and often controversial. Zlatan's next chapter began in 2009 when he moved to Barcelona to much fanfare, a move that would make him the heart of the team. But things didn't quite go as expected. Zlatan clashed with coach Pep Guardiola, and despite his undeniable ability, the relationship between the two didn't work out. But that's the thing with Zlatan. He's never been one to play by anyone else's rules except his own. After Barcelona, the Zlatan moved to AC Milan, where he continued to shine in Serie A before moving on to new challenges in France with Paris Saint-Germain PSG, and later in the English Premier League with Manchester United. At every stop, Zlatan proved that he was still the leader. He continued to score goals, win trophies, and show the world that he was untouchable. But Zlatan wasn't just famous for his incredible goals and abilities. His personality was as great as his talent. Whether he was calling himself a star, joking about his own greatness, or stirring up wild controversy, Zlatan's confidence hit the charts. He was never afraid to express his opinion. His unfiltered style often made headlines, but also gave him a unique place in football. For Zlatan, it wasn't just about the game, it was about making a statement. His courage, the boldness of the field, he didn't care what others thought. He believed he was the best, and he made sure everyone knew it. Whether it was his stunning kicks, his daring shots, or his ability to score in the most dramatic moments, Zlatan was the kind of player you simply couldn't ignore. Even as he grew older, his body may have slowed down, but his mind and instincts were sharper than ever. He left behind a legacy full of trophies, unforgettable moments, and an undeniable aura of greatness. Zlatan Ibrahimovic's journey from a troubled child in a difficult neighborhood to one of the game's greats is nothing short of inspiring. It's a story about never giving up, believing in yourself when no one else will, and going your own way. He didn't just prove the world wrong, he proved that anything is possible if you have the heart and will to make. So, what do you think? Zlatan's story shows us that no matter where you come from, your belief in yourself is the most important thing. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Let me know comment what you think about Zlatan's rise to greatness. Did you know his story was so wild? I would like to hear your opinion.